I do have one question before we get too far into this, because I'm getting into the D&D thing, and I hear you call it a Nat 20.
A Nat 20.
What does Nat 20 mean in the D&D world? Welcome to Talk Parlor number 13, everyone. I'm Adam.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are here to talk about last week's... It's this week.
This week. It is real time right now.
Yep, real time right now. This week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge that's being voted on right now. In the moment.
Yes.
I think we're gonna try this style, see how we like it. We're gonna try to pick up and hit on some comments and stuff, and we'll do that later on. So we're trying to keep it live without being live.
Yeah, kind of live, a little bit more interactive with our followers. You know, we'll talk about the people that have commented, talk about kind of the people that follow us every week, and you know what all they comment, and yeah, it's just neat. It's a way that we can be more interactive with you guys, which we're very excited about.
Yeah. Again, we're sitting here just drinking a good old hot cup of Joe. Got our D&D stuff set out, you know, some of the 3D items that we've printed, and we're just gonna chill and do our thing.
Yeah.
So I guess let's kick it off with the challenge, the roll.
Yeah, so this week's roll, we finally got our Nat 20, which was very, very exciting. Our Nat 20 is a fake skin tattoo. As we've mentioned before, Adam and I both aspire to be tattoo artists in the future. So getting that Nat 20 is just awesome for us. So whenever we roll our Nat 20 and we get our fake skin tattoo, what we do is we just go immediately into another subject matter. We re-roll for subject matter, and then we roll for style. Obviously, we're just going to do a black and white color palette. And then we both have the same size for fake skin. So once we got our Nat 20, we then rolled a subject matter for Angel. And then after that, we rolled it in a Tim Burton style. How did you feel about this roll?
Oh, boy. Well, I do have one question before we get too far into this, because I'm getting into the D&D thing, and I hear you call it a Nat 20.
A Nat 20.
What does Nat 20 mean in the D&D world? Because I feel like there's more symbolism to it than just any other roll. So
Nat 20s are the best roll that you could possibly get for everything. You know, that's a Nat 20. Okay, that's the maximum that you can do.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So like maximum amount of damage.
Or exactly.
Okay.
So for example, if my character was attacking your character in a D&D game, and if I rolled a Nat 20 on hitting you with my longsword, that means that my longsword now does double damage. So if I had 1d8 plus 6 of slashing damage, I would now do 2d8s plus, of slashing damage.
Okay.
So it's just awesome. So that's why our Nat 20 is fake skin tattoo. We get our bread and butter, essentially, you know?
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, all right, now that that's been explained to me and I understand it a little bit better.
And hopefully I'm explaining that right. If I'm not, I deeply apologize to the respectable DMs out there.
Okay, so now that that's been semi-explained to me, I'm going to go with, I'm assuming she's right.
Yeah.
How did I feel about this roll? Well, 1, tattoo on fake skin. I was pretty excited. 2, an angel. Still pretty excited.
Right.
Then the dice spoke.
Yeah.
And they said we had to do Tim Burton.
Okay, which actually is called a Burtonesque style.
Yes, yeah. Burtonesque style.
But on our paper, it's just Tim Burton.
So, I will start out by saying nothing's wrong with any of his films, his artwork. Very commendable artist. I've watched Beetlejuice, I've watched Wednesday, a couple of my favorites. I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan. And
it is an acquired taste.
It is an acquired taste. So when we landed on Tim Burton style, it was a little bit. I was concerned because it's just a different style to draw in, and it is not as easy as it looks to get it.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
When you're watching these things on TV and you're seeing it, and you're like, well, that doesn't seem like that's that. It doesn't seem like that is very difficult to draw.
Right.
It is incredibly difficult to draw. And then when you throw Angel into it, it becomes even more difficult because I think when I think of Angel Wing, let's talk about the wing specifically. I look at it in a more realistic fashion. Okay, and that's not what they are in a Tim Burton style. I mean, they're just not. I mean, it's a whole different style.
Right.
And there's not too many like just angel wing, Tim Burton style angel wings out there that you can draw inspiration from. So then it's, okay, I can draw inspiration from this one character and I can kind of do things that mimic that character. But then it's like, I have nothing for inspiration for the wings. Right. I really have to go out on a limb and really kind of think about this in my imagination of how he would do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I struggled with that. I struggled with that a lot. Not to mention, just coming up with the character in general. Yeah. I think. I eventually did come up with something, but then things kind of took a turn, and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
What about you? How did you feel about the role?
So, for the role, at first, fake skin tattoo. Yes, awesome. Let's do it. I was really hoping that we could hit realism, that we even hitting American traditional would have been so awesome. That would have been a great style to do for this. Hitting the Tim Burton style was like, ooh, okay. How are we gonna do this? I had mixed feelings about it. I wasn't like Sour Patch about it or anything, but I did have my mixed feelings about it. Yeah.
I felt like when we added Tim Burton to our paper, I think we had something different in our minds.
You think so?
I think so, because when we added it, we were both kind of excited about it.
Yeah, we were like, oh yeah, that is a style. Yeah.
But then when we rolled it, it was like,
how do we do it?
Yeah, it was like step back. We took like 5 steps backwards. Yeah. And it was like, oh boy, this is gonna have to become reality now.
Right.
Research? Did you do any research or?
So I actually did. And I just listened to a few documentaries on YouTube, just short documentaries on YouTube about Tim Burton. And it was really interesting to hear. He I can't remember what school he was in and everything now, but he actually got a job with Disney. And it was, if I remember correctly, during the Fox and the Hound film, and he was in charge for, doing the drawing, animation stuff, like frame by frame things, maybe a couple background characters, if I remember. And he could not do it. They were just too kind of perfect for him. He hated that drawing style of that at that time, that classic Disney look. And he obviously, of you guys have seen his own style of, the kind of wicked swirls and everything. It was interesting learning about him and kind of how he got his start with things. So the research was kind of fun to listen to. Also, I took a lot of inspiration from The Corpse Bride. When I think Tim Burton, that's the first film that I go to. I've always really loved that film a lot. I don't immediately think of Nightmare Before Christmas or anything else. I just go straight to Corpse Bride. I think it's a great film.
Never seen it.
So good.
Never seen Nightmare Before Christmas.
It is an acquired taste. It is an acquired taste.
You know, you said something that kind of caught my attention about your research. You said that you watched a couple of short documentaries. Something we'll discuss outside, but just off the top of my mind, I think it would be interesting that when we're doing our roles and our challenges, that we, you know, for instance, like during our impressionist challenge.
Yeah, impressionism.
I feel like maybe we should add into our research a short 15, 20-minute documentary about an artist that we watch and that we can call to, you know, when we're talking about it.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I mean, it adds just a little bit of an extra level of research.
Yeah.
But it's only going to help you in the end.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get off track. But, you know, my research, honestly, was just trying to find inspiration from somewhere. And I struggled with it because I'm just, again, nothing against the style. I'm just not a fan of it.
It's fair. Yeah.
And it makes it difficult to draw inspiration from something when you're not a fan of it. And it's just it adds a different level of a challenge.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Because I think I'll hit that on challenges, but research, I don't know. How did we, I guess really, we'll jump to the design phase. You know, like I said, I didn't do much research. Jordan obviously did more research than I did. But most people are wondering how we wound up doing the same drawing.
Well, we've mentioned this before on some of our other drawings where, you know, in our monster podcast, our impressionistic monster and ink pen, we mentioned how we wish that we would have done the same monster, and that way it was apples to apples and not apples to oranges for the voting. And for the design phase on this, at first we decided, oh, okay, we're both going to do a female angel, because whenever I think angel, I kind of go to that biblical reference, you know, Michael the archangel, and something that's, you know, a bit more stockier and beefier than feminine female angel. And so we both decided to agree on doing a female angel, and after that it's like, okay, you know, peace out, Boy Scout, let's go, you know, go our separate ways and then see what we come up with throughout the week.
No, I didn't grab it, but should I grab mine that I come up with?
Sure.
Hey,
Carter,
man behind the scenes.
Man behind the scenes.
Bottom drawer over there should be a piece of fake skin with another angel on it. Can you grab that for us?
So,
bottom drawer.
You got this. So that was something that we decided to do at the beginning of this challenge. Both female angel. We also decided not to do halos and just, you know, wing focused, feminine focused. So, you know where it is. There he is. Awesome. And so this here is where Adam was with his initial design. Go ahead and talk about how you got that design.
Well, so I started out with something completely different, and I had sent Jordan a message, and she initially liked the character that I originally had. But the wings I had on it, on that character were...
Yeah, that was your first character.
That's where I learned that, okay, you can do a Tim Burton style character and then put wings on it, and the wings be realistic and the character be Tim Burton, and you got two things that don't mesh well.
The wings were very narrow.
Yes.
You know, and a very awesome style wing. But narrow for the character. It was like, it's kind of just not reading that Burtonesque feel to it, you know, fan it out a little bit more.
Right.
And then that's where you came up with...
Well, and then the other problem was I was drawing it on larger sheet of paper, and when I went to go scale it down for the printer to print a stencil, it became this muddy, globby mess of nothingness.
Yeah.
And so then I had to go back to the drawing board on what I was going to do, and I redesigned her. I redesigned the wings, and ultimately this is what I had come up with. I felt like she was. I wanted something that was still very angel-like, not so creepy angel-like, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Maybe not so like Tim Burton-esque angel,
yeah.
more elegant angel, but still has the Tim Burton-esque features.
Like the exaggerated eyes and the
exaggerated
small
eyes,
pupils.
the small pupils, the little flips on the wings.
Yeah, pointy fingers.
Yep, pointy fingers. That's kind of where I wanted to go. And I struggled. I struggled a lot trying to get her. And I finally got it, and got it on fake skin, printed it out, printed beautifully, got it on fake skin, looked gorgeous, and I was probably within an hour or two of really sitting down with the gun and really starting to go to town lining it. And I called Jordan and I said, I finally got it. Sent you a photo. And I said, not my best work, but I feel like it's something good. And Jordan had been struggling with sick. Well, we've both been sick, but
yeah, that was a big struggle this week. We'll get into more of that.
But she had mentioned that she thought that we should both do the same character.
Yeah.
And I freaking love the idea. It's what we've talked about from the very beginning. We just haven't gotten to that point.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know why we haven't really got to that point. I think a lot of it is we still both want to be very creative. And
we don't want to limit ourselves to this one box either.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So, but for this particular challenge, and because this whole idea really got based off of, the show Ink Masters, this was perfect because this is something that they do on there quite often where they give the same style, subject matter, yada yada.
Right.
And that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
So, there's a little bit more variance on the TV show, but this was a straight apples to apples comparison. And I freaking loved it.
So once I saw Adam's Angel, one thing that I noticed from the design that I had started and with his, I was like, yes, his does read that Burtonesque. It's very elegant. And then I was thinking about mine, and I was like, it does have a little bit more of the Burtonesque feel with the swirls and kind of how the wings kind of elongate down and swirl out. It just, there is that feel,
right?
So with the design, I actually just kind of started sketching and made this really cute character. I took a lot of inspiration from The Corpse Bride and just kind of went to town with her design. And then ended up taking a photo of the sketch and then put that online, and online thankfully made a really clean stencil for us to use. And I sent that over to Adam, and I was like, check this out, okay? How about we both do this angel just like how Ink Masters does? Then we're completely judged on the same thing, especially with it being a tattoo challenge.
Yes.
It just made more sense. It's kind of different, whenever we get into the monsters and the hands and the eyes, we can kind of interpret that a little bit differently, still similar, but a little bit differently. But this was nice to just have here is this one, here is that one, here is your vote. Which one do you like more? Tell us what the likes are about it, and who you think executed it better. It's nice having that same comparison back to back and just having both the photos right there in front of you for it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I love the idea.
The design phase was a lot of fun for this one for me. I really liked it. I'm super, super proud of this character that I came up with. And I love the wings on her. I think she's really cool. I like her dress a lot. It was neat. It was really, really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say much about the design phase. I do think, though, in the future when we do this, that we both should be required to draw something.
Yeah,
and then
that's a good idea.
Pick between the two which one we want to do, or we alternate it.
Yeah.
This time we went yours. Next time we'll go mine.
Yeah.
That way, we're both getting our designs out there.
Yeah.
But it's not feeling like one person is doing all the work.
Right. So what were some likes that you really enjoyed about this challenge and about doing this piece on the fake skin?
I liked a lot about it. I really did. Especially when I got to the shading part of it. The shading on it, just to me, was where I had a ton of fun. And it really just started to it really seemed to start flowing. It was and it was where I could kind of take it and make it, even though it was a design that you come up with, I could make it my own just through shading.
Exactly. And I like that we both shaded them very similarly. You know what I'm saying? Similar.
Yeah.
Very, very alike.
Yes.
But we went a big different route with it also. And I really like that we were able to showcase our own characteristics with that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I think this is a good time. Let's jump out, hit the page right quick, see what people are talking about.
Yeah, since we're on the topic of likes really quick, some of our comments on here so far for this week's Roll for Art Flash Challenge, we have, I'm not sure how we feel about saying the names on it, so we'll just go on a first name basis here. We have Carter. He mentioned, I really like both of them. The line work on option 2 is better as it feels more edgy, but I like how option 1 fades to dark better, like Nightmare Before Christmas. For this instance, Adam is option 1 and I am option 2. Cheryl also said, good grief, I have only 2 questions. 1, could you have made this any more difficult to choose between? And 2, when can I get this tattoo? Well, one of these days.
Yeah. And then we have Dana. I like the shading better on 1, but good grief. There it is again. Good grief. Is one really better than the other? Guys, this is exactly what we're talking about. This is why we wanted to do that. This is why Jordan brought that up. Let's do the same character. Let's do the apples to apples comparison. Let's make the decision difficult.
Exactly. And we love that difficult decision making. It's so fun seeing people and just kind of watching them kind of almost like fight between the two of us. You know what I mean?
I know. I love it.
It's so cool.
It's so exciting. Yeah. I mean, this we've said it before, but this is why we do this. I mean, we do it for a multitude of reasons, but man, we can get in our own little space when we're drawing. I sat down and did the shading and stuff in about 3 hours. Well, lining and shading in about 3 hours yesterday. And I got done about 12:30 in the morning. And, for the better part of an hour and a half, 2 hours, I was just in my own little world.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that, like I said, that's one aspect of it. But the big one is the interaction from you guys. I mean,
definitely.
Just the comments of good grief. How do we pick?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm not doing it.
Right.
We're just the ones creating it.
Yeah, definitely. So back to where we were with the podcast, I'd say that my likes within this piece is I liked a lot about it. I mainly liked doing the neck of this character and then also doing the bottom of her gown. I really enjoyed outlining that area and shading that area. That was definitely my favorite part of this. And I feel like that's where kind of some of my strengths show within this tattoo as well.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I felt like your transition from your darks to lights was just butter.
Thank you very, very much.
Did.
The shading part was where I started to have fun with this one.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I mean, the dress, I tried to make the dress come to life as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really trying to put in things that I've learned with just drawing with graphite pencil, charcoal, just running in there, putting in those, like the texture in the dress or the lines in the dress, running in there, putting that in dark, letting it fade out to light to give it that flow.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out because, when you're on fake skin, it can get muddy pretty quick.
Yes, definitely.
And then it's like you wipe it off, throw some petroleum jelly on, wipe it off.
Try to wipe it off.
And then you do that a couple times, and that's when it finally really starts coming to life. And it's like, oh, that's what I was trying to go for.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. And I'm just like just getting that shading in there. That's where I had the most fun and like it the most.
What were some dislikes that you had?
Oh, hands down, no questions asked. And it was the one thing I was like halfway through it. I'm like, this is never going to freaking end. I wish we would have went with mine. But lining, this was horrible.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And the dress wasn't so bad.
Mm-hmm. The dress was nice.
Yeah. The hair and the wings, awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Yeah. You wait, I'll hand it back.
Right.
Yeah. Because it was just, man, I was like, oh my gosh, so many lines.
Yeah.
And trying not to get them mixed up and trying to, it's fake skin's one of those things that it's like you can only wipe so much because then you start wiping your stencil away. And once the stencil's gone, well, good luck to you.
Yep, they're exactly right.
So the dislike that I had was the lines. What about you? Dislikes?
So dislikes for me was really, really challenging this week. I was super, super sick, big cough, big fever, and was really down for the count quite a bit. And then while outlining this, I was just coughing the entire time, lots and lots of coughing fits, which made it really difficult and really unenjoyable for me. So I really wish that I could have fallen in love with this a lot more. But the dislikes it was definitely the lining for me. I love this design. I love it a lot, but I wish that I could have been in more of a headspace where I was like in my zone, able to pull really, really clean lines. I think my lines are mostly clean. For fake skin is kind of unforgiving with clean lines and stuff. It is doable, but you kind of notice every single mistake that you have. But that's really about it. It took me a long time to get through the lining because of my sickness. But that's really about it whenever it came down to dislikes. Is I just wish that I was feeling more up to this week. I actually just finished it at like 5 a.m. this morning finally, and now we're here.
Yeah. Yep. Challenges?
Challenges for me, I actually tried to do the wings in more of a poppy white color because I really wanted to showcase the wings and make them kind of a little bit more beautiful and elegant. I tried to capture a lot of elegance with this, but I go in with the white and it just comes out completely gray because with this fake skin, that ink kind of sits there within the silicone and it doesn't really, you've got to give it a long time to dry up. So it sits there and you go in with the white and you're kind of right next to those black ink areas and it just pulled everything to gray. So that was a big challenge. I kind of had to overcome that and work around it. And that was a challenge. But I feel like one of the things that I overcame challenging wise in this was I wasn't afraid to punch in my blacks where I was scared to put it, but I was like, it definitely needs it. A big example of that is a little bit in my wings, between the feathers. I really wanted to push some deeper, more richer colors, well, blacks. And then I really enjoyed how at the bottom of the gown, it almost has that layered effect. You can tell that the inner part of the gown is the inner part of the gown, and then there's cloth flowing over that. And then one of my favorite parts about this is the shading in the hair that frames the face and frames the neck. I feel like that adds a lot of that contrast that's needed right there, that pushes the hair back. You can tell it's behind her. It helps her face and her neck and her chest area just kind of stand out a little bit more to get that human form. That's an area that I really, really liked with it, that I thought was challenging, that I was able to overcome, which was really nice. Yeah. How about you?
Well, challenges were, I'm going to piggyback off of you because it's something I am terrified to do most times, and that is putting that black in there.
Yeah.
Because, once you put that black in there, you can't get it back out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the difference between whether you have to start over or whether you can keep going.
Exactly.
And so that was the one challenge I struggled with, was really committing to putting the black in. I ultimately just did it. I mean, it was just like, I know it needs it there, so just do it. It was, like I said, it was scary because, man, I didn't want to go back and have to redo this thing and reline it all again. Man. I do want to jump back to one other thing that I forgot to mention about the likes. I loved playing with line weight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I have all kinds of different line weights through her hair, through the wings, the bottom of the dress, and it was just a lot of fun. I lined it all in a smaller needle size.
What needle size?
I lined it in a 5. No, I'm sorry. I lined it in a 7. And then I shaded everything in the way I wanted it shaded in. And then I come back in and with an 11 and a 13 and really I just really started playing with line weights and went in with the hair with different size line weights. So not everything was the same. But like I said, I know we're well beyond the likes, but I wanted to bring that to a mention because I really enjoyed doing it. Challenges, like I said, was just, I really struggled with being comfortable putting the black in. I don't know that I had any other challenges really other than that. Just trying to make sure that I put shading in the right places on her face and her neck and her hands.
What did you use to shade?
I used a 7 mag.
7 mag?
On the whole thing. 7 round mag, yeah.
Nice.
On the whole thing. I just used it in different, turning it different angles and using it on different angles.
So when I started mine, this is actually the second copy, because the first one I was just so down bad with the sickness. It was, my hand was shaking the entire time. I was just so uncomfortable doing it. It was really bad. In the future, I refuse to tattoo anybody once certified while under the weather. I mean, my body just does not do very well with it. So at first, I actually outlined everything in a 7 round liner. And then I kind of thought, I was like, man, am I just too thick with it? Maybe it was just my hand shakiness that day. That ended up taking me out for it. But for this one, I did a 5 round liner and I did a couple of 3 round liner details in there. I am very happy that I did the eyelashes in a 3 round liner because I felt like that helped me get kind of that swoop feel, almost that cylinder feel to it. I was really happy that I did that detail in the 3 round liner. And then for shading, I used a 9 round Magnum and a 7 round Magnum.
Nice.
Yeah. Mostly everything was in a 7 round Magnum. Whenever I did like mid dress and up, I kind of broke out that 9 just so I could cover more surface area.
Yeah, no, like I said, I enjoyed it. Did you have any challenges? I know we've practiced quite a bit with the fake skin and stuff. Did you have any challenges working in this medium?
So fake skin is difficult to
It's
work
different.
with, and it kind of, it's really unforgiving, you know. And so whenever working with fake skin, for me, I get my stencil on and then I outline my stencil, and during that entire time outlining my stencil, I do not wipe, I don't clean it, and then it's just a bloody mess by the end of it, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and you just kind of dab if, you know, there's a little extra ink in one spot, and it is so unforgiving for something like this. It's so small with all those details. Like, we practiced together before, you know, doing like big skulls or daggers. Like, you know, that's so much easier to work with because you can just, you know, and not zoop, zoop, zoop,
right.
zoop, zoop for.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of this.
Yeah, a lot of zoop.
Like, oh my gosh, this is never ending.
Yeah, in close quarters with the hair and the wings. It's a beautiful design. But it was just a hassle to tattoo for sure.
But it is tattooable.
It is tattooable. It's absolutely tattooable. Yeah, I love it. I think we both did really good. Yeah. I really like the boldness in Adam's. I think that he really nailed this one. I believe that he's probably taken home the win for this one for sure. That was
something else I really wanted to play with. I know it wasn't, you know, I like the thick, bold lines of American traditional. And so towards the end, I was like, you know what? That's why I really broke out the 13 liner, the 13 round liner, because I was like, man, I really want to throw some bold lines in there and really kind of, you know, yes, it's kind of an illustrative design, but I just felt like, man, illustrative with a little bit of that American traditional bold lines.
And it's nice getting that sticker look too.
It is. And I feel like that has a pretty good sticker feel too.
Yeah, definitely. So. I feel like mine would be more like a part of a piece. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. On its own, still pretty, still cute.
You could throw in Jack and
sure.
Some of the other,
it can be whatever you want it to be, Adam.
I don't know the dude's name off.
Jack Skellington or what's his face or what his other face is. But yeah, you know, it feels like it's more a part of a scene. Yeah, but I definitely think that Adam is probably taking home the win for this week for sure. Speaking of that,
it's still early.
It's still early. Speaking of that, you can go to our Facebook page, Parlor number 13 by J&A. And check out how our votes are going for this week. Check out our upcoming challenges. And also, happy 2-month anniversary.
That's right.
For Parlor number 13 by J&A. This is so great. So thank you guys for spending our anniversary with us. We're going to be posting a recap of this month. Go check those out. Like we've mentioned before, you can really zoom in to see what we're talking about on this podcast here. We have our art pieces always in front of us, but it's hard to zoom in and see you know, the shading on the wrist, the hair on the wrist, the shading on the neck, the shading on the gown. It's nice to go on there and really see what Adam and I are talking about. So yeah, Facebook, Parlor number 13 by J&A. Instagram, we're posting more content out there every single week, pushing more and more. We're hoping to gain more followers, so go check us out on there. We kind of got more photos and more videos. Also YouTube at Talk Parlor number 13, and you can find us on all podcast platforms, all your favorite podcast platforms, Talk Parlor number 13 or Parlor number 13 by J&A. Yeah, give us a check, like and comment. We love the interactive comments. We love commenting back to you guys. So, yeah.
Just don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff Jordan was saying. And remember, keep the creativity flowing. Let your inspiration soar. Together, we create, we inspire, we transform art into a journey. And we will see you at our next challenge next Wednesday. And don't forget to get on there and vote. Vote,
Awesome.
vote, vote. And as always, wherever you're at,
Be safe. Thank you, guys.